Welcome to Chatterbox Bearcats. The midweek show is back. I'm your host, Nick Niehaus, Eric Lilly, a.k.a. Bearcat Budge, joining me tonight. We are brought to you by Martino's on Vine. We got a basketball game coming up on Thursday and Sunday. Make sure you head out to Martino's before the game and after the game. Celebrate, hopefully, some Bearcat wins. These are very winnable games for Wes Miller and company coming up against West Virginia and Central Florida Thursday and Sunday. Lily, so we've been swamped with hoop stuff. So we haven't really talked football. But now that the hoop season is, I guess, on life support, and we have two games coming up, West Virginia and UCF, I feel like now's the perfect time to talk football. So here is our portal roundup. All of our roster additions are set. All of the roster departures are set. Coaches have been promoted. Coaches have been hired. The portal is over. We have our team for next year. It's time to discuss it. So first and foremost, you got to start off with the quarterback, J.C. French IV. Brendan Sorsby, the number one player in the portal, leaves Cincinnati, goes to Texas Tech like everybody thought. He's screaming on the sidelines of basketball games. We never had that in Cincinnati with him. What's up with that? But anyway, Bearcats land Georgia Southern quarterback J.C. French. He's been their quarterback for 3 years. He's really gotten play in the last two. Almost 3,000 yards last year, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 63% completion percentage. What do you think about the quarterback? And before I ask you that, actually, we're going to go through all these position groups, talk about the offense first. We'll get into defense, and we'll kind of give you a little storyline for each one or a guy to look out for. But again, J.C. French, let's start with him.
Yeah, don't click exit right now, guys. We're going to blaze through these. We'll do groups. We're not going to just read off stats here on every player.
This won't be a 2-hour podcast. This is very high level.
Might have a hot take or two. Speaking of hot takes, when we picked up J.C. French, the reaction on Twitter was pretty, I feel like, neutral to negative. Does that feel right, Niehaus?
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not like ecstatic about it, but I think it's a little overplayed. He's definitely undersized. He's listed at 6'1". He's not 6'1". He's shorter than that. But he slings it. He can run the ball. He does both. He had 600 yards rushing in his career at Georgia Southern, almost 6,000 yards passing. And again, I've watched his videos. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a QB whisperer or anything like that, but I do like his ball. Like, the ball looks good. He slings it. I'm worried that he's a little too short, behind our massive offensive line. But in terms of like something to be positive about, which I will always find, except for with this year's basketball team, I will point out that Georgia Southern's offensive line was horrible. This guy got sacked 56 times the last 2 years. And I do think there's a chance here that with a really strong O-line, we're expecting this to be one of the best offensive lines in the country again, I think. And if not country, it'll definitely be one of the better top 5 in the Big 12, which is, the goal. We're playing Boston College in the Big 12. So we don't need to block like Bama. I'm a little excited to see how it goes. It's a different team building strategy, and that stuff fascinates me, Niehaus. So the fact that we didn't blow up our payroll, is that what we want to call it, on a star quarterback, I think it'll be interesting to see how much better the defense is. What did we spend our money on to make other positions better, and see if we can, let Sat cook a little with the offense, see if it works out, and then our defense is better. I'm just excited to see something new after how horrible the end of last season was.
You hope that, obviously, you did save a little bit of money because he's coming from Georgia Southern. And I don't know where else, he was. Did you mention where – I was looking up stats. Did you mention anywhere else he visited? Did he only visit us?
Could not find it.
Yeah. So I feel like, though, And this
which might
could
be
be a
bad.
this could be a dumb take because it didn't work out for us the last 2 years. Although I don't know how much Sorsby was making. I don't think it was that much, obviously, compared to what he's making now.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like quarterback is the position you spend on, obviously. It's the hardest position in all of sports. And I'll relate it to hoops. How we've been complaining for 5 years that we haven't had an alpha on the team. And it's like we have all of these guys who are in the same range of good. You know, it's like you got 10 guys who are playing basketball who one will have a really good game, then another will have a good game, then another will have a good game. And other than Baba Miller's rebounding ability and what we could see from him if he was able to shoot the ball, you just don't have a guy where it's like, clearly this dude is worth the bulk majority of the money. And I know you got to field a whole football roster, and you don't want to have what happened last year where you are just top heavy in terms of talent at the quarterback position and the rest of the team is not, as good. I guess specifically the defense. So 2 ways to look at it. Either you hate that, we didn't go out and splurge on a quarterback because it is the most important position in all sports, or you respect the reversal. And it's like, this hasn't worked for us in the last 2 years. Let's save a little coin and focus and be more balanced of a team elsewhere. So I guess there's 2 ways to look at it, right?
Yeah. It's just so tough to see right now, right?
It is. It's like, how is this going to translate to the Big 12? It's so different from like back in the day when you know that there's going to be quarterback competitions. And you still see it on the internet nowadays where it's like, well, maybe, Samaj Jones will compete for the quarterback QB1 spot. And it's like, I just don't think, I think it's clear and obvious nowadays how much, these guys are making. It's like, you're not going to have whatever JC French is making on the bench unless he's quite literally terrible. But I mean, to start the season.
Yeah. And I love that we play Boston College this year instead of Nebraska. This team, while it still has a chance to be good, if we had a game like Nebraska, I think we'd be getting our butts kicked rather than losing respectfully, if that's how you want to put out what happened last year. We could still lose that game. It's pretty frightening to think of going into year 4 losing at home to Boston College. But I don't know if I was going to – we also – Niehaus picked up another quarterback named Liam O'Brien, backup to French is what it seems like he is. So I didn't really look too much into the guy because it seems like French is going to win the job. So if we start hearing stuff in the spring that Liam O'Brien is cooking, that's when I'll start
panicking,
checking out his highlights. Yeah, and panicking. Yes, both. It would not be good if your backup is winning in the spring when you picked up a backup and a starter. That would be very bad.
All right. So, and again, I feel like, but we don't know exact numbers on this. This isn't public information, but like, it is pretty well known that like, obviously we did not spend crazy at that position.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I could get
we
you a
focused
ballpark
elsewhere.
right now.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Vanini at The Athletic posted an article saying like, this is what the average player costs at each position. Quarterback, in the quarterback section, he mentioned specifically that at the power level, the minimum wage for quarterbacks is like $900,000 to $1 million. And from what I can tell, and talk to a couple people, is that it's just a little above that. And by a little, a couple $100,000. So it's not a little, but he's not the lowest paid quarterback in power football at all. But he's cheaper than Sorsby by, and like, for example, this isn't exactly what they wanted to do. Lincoln Keenholz was the guy they wanted. And he ended up at Louisville for triple or 2.5 times what French is getting probably. So we initially went out trying to build that way. So
So everything I said earlier is
adjusting.
So everything I said earlier is just a farce. So like, but I guess that's what you can do nowadays. You can kind of play GM, and it's like, okay, we missed on Keenals. Whatever we're going to spend on him, we can spend elsewhere, right?
Yep.
So at least you have that.
You just got to execute it. You can't panic. It's got to be prepared.
And again, like, it didn't work the last 2 years. We had the number one portal guy in the country, and he won 0 games in November here. So
that's crazy still.
It could be refreshing, but again, it's quarterback. You want him to be, you want the best guy out there. It's not like, yeah, I mean, I don't know though, because look at the freaking Super Bowl. You got, Sam Darnold and Drake May. I mean, those solid quarterbacks, but Joe Burrow's not there. Lamar Jackson's not there. Josh Allen's not there. Mahomes didn't have a good season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. Speaking of like spending, offensive line, everybody's back. No additions on the offensive line and no additions on tight end. So we're running it back with the O-line and the tight ends. O-line was really good this year. I guess it's just going to be same old when it comes to those two position groups. Do you have anything for me there?
Yeah, and I added Judea Milon back onto the spreadsheet here. I thought he graduated, but he's back. He's more of a depth guy. He's probably not going to play still, but Zach Grant mentioned it in the podcast with Chad on Bearcat Journal that he like pretty much fist pumped when Chad mentioned that they didn't get an offensive lineman in the portal, which shows like, hey, that's an expensive position to buy in the portal. It's like if you're getting a tackle in the portal, you're pretty much screwed. Like the fact that we got Joe Cotton last year in the spring is just a miracle. We got the Brinks truck out. All the top schools already had a tackle, and we won that battle over Wisconsin. So, nice. And then we're going to run it back with this leadership group. I think this is going to be the group this year. It was Sorsby last year with them and Gerhardt, but Evan Tingsdahl seems to be standing out to me. I'm a little biased here because that's my guy. He eats good pizza for anybody who knows. And he's a leader. He's saying the line's looking great. And tight end room is a little gamble as well. Like for both of these groups, I think we might be a little thin, but it's so hard to tell with development behind the scenes because they're playing the starting 5. Like these backups aren't playing. They don't get the snaps. So you'll see them in the spring. You'll hear about it in the summer, and they just haven't played before. But tight end without Royer, Gavin Grover's next in line. He's a true junior. Behind him is going to be some redshirt freshmen. They really like Kamari Smith, Amari Witherspoon, Zahersky, and Waters are the guys that are probably going to play. A little risky, I think, to not add anything in either room, but okay. Grant seemed excited about it.
Yeah. Gavin Grover had that play for the Martino's Miracle, right? The Kansas game. So
the Kansas Miracle.
The Martino's Miracle.
Who is this guy?
I had to look him up on the roster. Okay. So same old. We don't have much there, right? But running backs and wide receivers are brand new. Wide receiver. Brand new room, right? Brand new.
Everywhere. Not as new as running back, though, which is crazy. But yeah, wide receiver, we are returning 2 guys that played. It was the more limited guys like Elijah Jones and Isaiah Johnson. Isaiah Johnson is electric. I'm really happy they kept him. I'm actually a little excited about the wide receiver room because they kept the 2 guys I wanted to keep. And we brought in 5 new players. I'm going first, Niehaus. My guy's Giovanni Gibson from Oklahoma. I wanted him last year. If you check my Twitter and search it, that was my guy out of UAPB. He's Pine Bluff stud. And he's just a big receiver that is like fast too. My favorite type of receiver, 6'2", 210, really explosive player. And like the thing I'm most excited about, if you're just sitting home Googling, you're like, well, this guy had 200 yards for Oklahoma. Who gives a shit? Right? Who cares? He broke his leg in the spring and missed the first part of the season. Those 200 yards were him getting back into the rotation of a team that made the playoffs. And I don't think this is something we should overlook at all. Like if you are rehabbing in the middle of a season and you get into a playoff team and playing snaps against, he scored his 1 touchdown in a 17-6 win over Missouri. That's a top 25 Missouri team. He's getting catches versus Bama, LSU, Alabama, Missouri, Tennessee, Ole Miss in the last month and a half. I know he's not putting up crazy numbers, but he's on the field for Oklahoma. That means something to me. I know their offense wasn't like crazy dynamic, but if you pull up his UAPB highlights, JV Gibson, Giovanni Gibson, it's hard to not like just think he's going to be the guy, in my opinion.
Okay. I like that. That's a good point about stats not telling you everything, because you do look
a nice buy low.
Well, that's why we have you here on this program, because people, don't watch the tape, don't look into this stuff other than looking at the stats. And it's like, yeah, he played his way onto, snaps halfway through the season. That's good. Here's an interesting stat, since I'm just reading into the stats. Cade Wolford from Kent State, 5'10", 190, true freshman. Now he's going to be a sophomore, obviously. From Jackson, Ohio, the middle of Southeast Ohio. If you're on the way to Athens from Cincinnati, a little 32, you pass Jackson. Interesting stat line from this guy. So 509 yards, 7 touchdowns. If you had to guess how many receptions he had for that, you'd be in the what? 40s, 50s. He had 19 receptions for 509 yards and 7 touchdowns. He has a comp, and it's not what he looks like or probably how he plays or anything similar whatsoever. But in terms of the stat line, I mean, does that stat line not scream Alec Pierce to you? It
just breaks my brain. I thought you were going to pull the Wes Welker card like everybody else will.
No, like I'm just talking 19 receptions, 509 yards. Like that's what Alec Pierce does, is he just has big hitters. Now he's not like him at all. He's 5'10", 190, right? So that's not his comp. But yeah, Wes Welker,
but what's
Julian Edelman?
Explosion.
That's what he's like. Yeah. He's like Julian Edelman. He's like Wes Welker. 19 catches, 509 yards. It's exciting. It's exciting to get a guy. Now, again, it was Kent State. It's the MAC. I love the MAC.
Yeah.
I love me some action. But this guy's probably going to get some snaps, isn't he?
He's playing. I'm convinced he's playing. The crazy part about it is like this guy was in high school last year, and Kent State I think it was his best offer. So he did that as a true freshman, and to jump from that to UC and play here would be another massive leap. I'm excited about him though. Like to me, like, we took the non-star quarterback, but we might have gotten more like fun weapons around the field, if that makes sense. We'll talk a little more about that at running back, but JV Gibson, speed, size, Cade Wolford, gadget guy. That also, if you watch his highlights, it's not like slants the whole time. He's getting deep passes. Like he's got good hands. He runs good routes. And I'm just excited that we landed this guy. He had legit power offers. If you go to his Twitter profile, there's 5+ power offers. We locked him down quietly. We got it done. I think this is one of our bigger pickups, honestly. Wow. So nice eye there, Niehaus.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. But, like to be a little more creative on offense, like you need guys like that. So, and then to wrap up the wide receiver section, we still have 3 more guys here, but it's the Lorenzo Finner was the first big pickup at receiver. So to me, the top 3 receivers are going to be JV Gibson, Lorenzo Finner, and then Wolford's going to be there, but I think Elijah Jones and Isaiah Johnson are going to be right there as well. Malachi Henry and Flynn Shield, I'm undecided on right now. They're intriguing, but Finner had 1,000 yards for South Dakota out of nowhere. Again, as a sophomore, South Dakota's a good program, but we're another huge leap. Kent State, South Dakota. Flynn Shields from where? Niehaus? The Colorado School of Mines. We got
We're pulling guys out of the mines.
yeah. If he's good, that'd be so funny. And then Henry's from Central Arkansas, and then you got Oklahoma. So there's some big gambles here, but I like how we filled it out. Once we get to spring, we'll talk a little more about football with receivers because I'm really excited about Isaiah Johnson personally. So we'll probably talk about him more down the road.
We got to have for a touchdown celebration for him, we got to have a hard hat, pickaxe, just on the sideline waiting. And
That's
then
great.
Every time he scores, put the hard
Give
hat
it to the
on.
Bearcat.
Yeah, yeah. Or like I'm thinking like verbal meme here, the guy who gives up mining before the diamonds, like an inch away from the diamonds. It's like
we could meme it.
He's an inch away from the end zone if he ever ends up being short.
I like that.
Cade Wolford. So his offers: Iowa, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Central Florida, Wake Forest. Not terrible. Those are I like the group. I like the group.
Mm-hmm. And JV
like
Gibson, not to go back to this, but
going.
JV Gibson visited Kentucky. Visited. I forget. He had another one he almost visited. And from what I was told, Oklahoma's GM, who is a former NFL guy, Nagy is his name, right? What's his name? Jim Nagy. He's a former NFL guy. He is Oklahoma's GM. They blew racks getting this guy. It was a big story. He supposedly told Giovanni Gibson he should come here. Like the other schools respect what we're doing. Our front office is well respected. I know it sucks that the results haven't been there, but I really think that they have a good plan. They're executing it. They're getting the right guys and building how UC needs to build at this stage of being like a new power school. It's just a shame that we blew our chance last year to kind of make a statement. Yeah. But there's still that respect out there, and the way we locked these guys down was pretty impressive. I think the players and their coaches, and they respect what we're doing here. All
right, we need to keep it moving. We're going so long, 22 minutes in. Just we got one more. Running backs, Jabran Payne, LaSalle kid from Notre Dame, coming back home. Yeah. We did talk about these guys a little bit already. We also got Cole Tabb from Stanford, who kind of is like just a replacement for of course not Tawi Walker, right? Kind of similar running style, kind of a brute guy, right? Am I a little
Payne's
bit
like that
on
too.
base there? Okay, Payne is too. And then Zylan Perry from Louisiana. So those are our additions, unless I'm missing another one.
No, that's it. We added a running back in the 2026 class at the last second too. He's not going to play. He's a freshman, but so there were 4 running backs. That's probably why you were confused. Yeah. Zion Johnson will be the only returner. I expect those 4 guys to play: Perry, Payne, Tabb, Johnson. Payne is the 2 guys I want to talk about. Is Payne. This is kind of a Corey Kiner situation, except it didn't get the fans as wound up because we didn't recruit him in high school, so there wasn't that familiarity. But he was a 4-star recruit out of LaSalle. This guy played for Notre Dame before his injury, like scored a touchdown against Ohio State as an underclassman. This is a legitimate player. People should be excited about him. He's probably going to be. I think he's probably going to be running back 1 if he's healthy. That's
wow.
Like the bell cow guy. Doesn't have. We'll see. I don't know how explosive he is, but Zylan Perry, I do know how explosive he is. This guy is a fun one. I'm mostly excited to see him on kickoff returns. We finally got a dynamic kickoff returner. He was a top kickoff returner in the country as a freshman, which is absurd.
Oh
wow. Has 1,300 yards returned from kickoff and 1 touchdown in his career. Didn't do it this year because I think he might have got too important for them on offense. So I think he'll do it at UC. So stay tuned for Zylan Perry returning kickoffs. But in terms of a running back, he had 1,300 yards the last 2 years, 12 touchdowns. He catches the ball out of the backfield. He's more of an explosive runner than like a physical brute guy that you will see out of Tabb and Payne.
All right. And then also,
Raging Cajun too.
yeah. Also, co-offensive coordinators, Nick Cardwell and Pete Thomas. That's the quarterback coach, offensive line coach. Two offensive coordinators. Neither of them call plays, right? So,
Kinda.
okay.
So from what I was told last year, Cardwell is involved with like the run game. You know, he's the offensive line coach. But from what I was told, Pete Thomas was involved in play calling.
Okay.
And, you know, this was kind of expected when the Glenn stuff started happening. So congrats to all the fans who wanted new coordinators. We got them. But two of them are you know, familiar.
Yeah.
But no more Glenn getting coffee for, you know, I'm sure everyone on Twitter says that for Sat. And then on defense, we'll get to the new guy on defense here soon.
We can get to him now unless you have more, because I do not.
Let's head to the defense, baby.
All
I'm
right.
excited. This is what
All
I'm
right.
excited about, Niehaus. We might actually be competent.
There we go. Cincinnati hired Army defensive coordinator Nate Woody. No more. I honestly blocked it out of my memory. Whatever was it 3-3-5?
Price invite the 3-3-5.
No, not 3-3-5. I blocked it. We're going to a 3-4. You wrote UC ended up getting one of the godfathers of the 3-4 defense. So going back to like standard defense, I feel like the 3-4 defense is anybody who plays Madden. It's just like the standard. It's just the first thing you choose. It's like, yeah, I don't care what play call. I'm picking on Madden. I'm going to the 3-4. So I feel like we're playing a very standard defense finally, because the 3-3-5 sucked.
Yeah. I listened to like an hour and a half YouTube video of this guy talking defense and, you know, sicko stuff. You guys don't need to do that. I learned a lot though, about like what he wants in players and stuff. It was cool. He's definitely, you know, this guy's 65. He's old school. You know, this is his second time going to the power level. My guess is that it'll be his last. He's 65. Like this is his shot to prove himself as like more than just a G5 coordinator, because his previous run-in was Georgia Tech, and it just happened to be he made the jump for Paul Johnson's final year. So Paul Johnson retires, Georgia Tech cleans house, right? So that was his one shot. They weren't good. They weren't awful. Gave up like 28 points a game. Not, you know, you don't want that, right? But it wasn't the worst in the conference, not even close. And there's a little familiarity with like Braswell. He did a little 3-4 down the stretch here for the bowl game. We did a 3-4. So maybe those two guys combine and you know, Braswell can learn from him, and maybe he learned something from Braswell. I'm just excited to see something different from, you know, an old guy that wants to prove himself. I know red flags everywhere, right? Like you're hiring a guy that used to coach for SAT. You know, he's only coached G5. So there are things to be concerned about here, guys. I'm just excited to see something different. The thing he kept mentioning in that interview, that video, was speed, positional speed. And with that 3-4, he didn't say like, he said speed's more important than pressure, basically, or getting sacks. Pressure is very important. And I think when we get to these linebackers that we're going to talk about, when we get to these DBs we're going to talk about, speed is going to be something we mention a lot. So I do think that we really hit on this defensive portal personally.
Good. Let's get to it. It's funny that the defense was awful last year, and yet we're replacing two surefire NFL draft picks in Dante Corleone and Jake Golday. So, well, you want to start at the defensive line? What's the number one thing that stands out to you?
We'll start with the negatives, right? Defensive line. I'm just a little nervous here, Niehaus. Like our D-line sucked last year, 3-man front. We had Corleone. A lot of those guys are returning, and Corleone's gone. So, like, you know, my alarm bells are going off, right? It's a little concerning. But we did get some new stuff in here. We got Josh Huh. I think that's how you say it. Huff.
Hoff?
Hoff, maybe. We'll go Hoff. I like that. That's a football name.
Yeah.
Formerly a running back for Syracuse is our nose tackle, Niehaus.
Oh, okay.
This is the one I'm excited about. You know, if I'm worried the D line's going to suck, I may as well really lean into loving this fat running back at nose tackle. To go from this was a 6'2", 235-pound running back out of high school. He broke all the Pennsylvania running records. This guy was a stud. 5 years later, he's added an inch and 100 pounds. He's 6'2", 330 now. And I actually watched some of his film. You can see it. Like, he's a kind of a twitchy, like, fun defensive tackle. Like, you could definitely tell he used to play running back. I'm also curious to see if we use this guy on offense, like, for like a funny goal line play. I mean, that would be great. Fans love that stuff. It's great. Football does stuff that other sports can't do in that regard.
You know what this is giving me vibes of is, and I can't remember his name and it's killing me, but it would show up on like national Twitter and Instagram occasionally, is the guy, the Bearcat, who joined the team as a quarterback, clean shaven, freshman out of high school, and then every year kept getting a bigger beard and gaining weight. And then by his senior year, he transitioned to a lineman. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever played, but that's just
this.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I tried Googling it as you were talking. Like, who's the guy who was here as a quarterback and ended up playing line?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Travis Kelce's close, you know, tight end, right?
It's not anyone obvious.
No, I remember that.
Yeah, it kept going viral.
Yeah, like college football Twitter was actually on that. It wasn't just UC fans.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. Anyway,
and it was like a Pokemon evolution.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He swiped, his beard kept getting bigger, and he kept getting, fatter.
But instead of just staying at Cincinnati, this guy went from Syracuse to our second most random ass school. Like, I'm giving Colorado School of Mines the trophy here. Okay. But second place is California University out of Pennsylvania.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe they should win. That's pretty random.
Yeah.
So he went down, way down to switch. And he was so good that he's back up. But this is a big call, Niehaus. Our defensive line was not good last year. Yeah. And we brought in this guy to be our nose tackle.
Wow.
I'm excited to see what happens. And then Chidera Tutu as well from UTSA, another beefy nose tackle. We have a bunch of DTs between those two and, Elijah Gunn, Cam Rutherford. So we have depth there at DT. Yeah. I'm just a little worried about the quality, but it should be fun to see Huff play.
All right, linebackers. I see you have the depth chart here. So we got our Will linebackers, our Mike linebackers. This is like, if you are not in the weeds of schematics and defense, you look at our depth chart and you're like, what am I looking at? Like, there's a cat position, there's a dog position, there's a Will position, and a Mike position. I mean, Mike.
Cat's the new star.
Mike, you should know. I feel like Mike has been around for a while, but cat and dog? What?
So Cat's the new star. So that's why you'll see Antoine Peak on that peak there. Dog is more going to be that guy that goes after the quarterback. And, we brought in your boy for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thomas Johnson, that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we want to get in? I guess it's funny. Like,
let's go straight to dogs then.
Yeah, let's do dogs. So NC Central. Obviously he's taking a step up. That's going to be a theme that we're talking about. Everyone's taking a step up except for JV Gibson from Oklahoma. And then Jabran Payne, Notre Dame. We're getting a lot of mid-major, low major is not football, I guess group of five, but NC Central, is that even FBS? I think that might be FCS.
They just became it this year. So he was there when they were FCS though. So he came up.
But Thomas Johnson was a big get for us, right? On the edge.
Something tells me he was one of the higher paid guys we brought in, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think of either the edge rushers or the linebackers? Let's just get into let's get into that position group.
Yeah, I'll go edge first because we only brought in one. It's Thomas Johnson. He's the guy. He straight up said it in an interview. It's in my newsletter. I quote tweeted it. And another theme that we're going to see here, especially on these defensive guys, is we recruited a lot of guys that were at one place their whole career. I know I just mentioned, the California School of Mines or Colorado, and then Hoff went to two schools, but here on out, Thomas Johnson, NC Central the whole way. It was a big deal for him to make the big leap. Where do I want to go to finally prove who I am in my last year? And he mentioned the facilities were amazing in that interview. He mentioned how it's all in one spot. And then he mentioned snaps.
There we go.
He's like, I don't want to waste my last year. I need to go somewhere where I am the guy. I want to be the guy. And I think that's why we got him. This guy could have gone higher for sure, but he didn't want to risk that chance to not put stuff on film against power players because this guy wants to play in the NFL. So I love it. Big pickup. Obviously, there's concern because this is a big leap for him from NC Central, right? And then, but in terms of other pass rushers, since I still don't think we're gonna have a million sacks in this setup, just based on hearing Woody talk. I do think those guys are going to be Thomas Johnson. Brian Sims might move back. He used to be closer to the line there. Miles Harrison, Keegan Horn, and then you're going to see Marquez Parker out there. He'll be on the line. He might, show up at dog. But those are going to be those 5 guys are going to be the pass rushers, I think. So in addition to maybe a random linebacker at Will or Mike. I don't know what to think about this either, Niehaus.
Yeah.
It feels a little unproven.
So Mike is all guys we know. Jonathan Thompson, Simeon Coleman, and Monte Whedon. Did Monte Whedon get snaps last year?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That just shows you.
And this is a very rough draft, to be clear.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. But the Will linebackers, all new.
Speed.
Let's see. Where are we from? Where are we from with Phil?
Yeah, Maserowski from NIU. We brought in 3 NIU guys. I'm just going to run through all 3 of these linebackers. Maserowski, Bauer, Wilson. Maserowski and Wilson are the more interesting pickups to me because Wilson just sat out this year with an injury, and we're getting him from Georgia State.
Oh, wow.
They love him. They're excited about his athleticism. He showed out as a freshman the year prior, and it's a buy low opportunity. Get him in your program, develop him. It wouldn't shock me if he doesn't play much, but you never know. Sometimes those guys just blow up. Maciarowski's a super speedy NIU linebacker. He was clocked at 22 miles an hour in a game.
Okay.
Freak athlete. So didn't have crazy production, but I'm expecting him to play. And I think Patrick Bauer from Illinois State's going to play too. He had a crazy pick that I retweeted. He's a more built guy. Maybe he ends up being a dog. And I'm talking about the position, not he could end up being a pass rusher. Yeah, he's got some meat on the bone, more than Wilson and Maciarowski. So those guys are going to be flying around. I think our linebacker room might be our most proven, strongest, deepest room on defense.
Okay, love it.
I'm willing to say that.
All right, and the DBs. I know that MJ Cannon, that was a big get for us out of the MAC. Is that right?
Yeah,
Bowling Green.
Yeah, and he was a corner there.
Okay.
And it just immediately came out that he's switching positions. He told me himself he's 6'3", 205. So it's when we get that guy as a corner, it's holy smokes, a 6'3" corner. How are we getting this kid? It's because he's switching to a different
safety.
That hybrid safety role, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to start. This is the hot take. I got some emails about this actually. Why is Antoine Peak not the starter?
Oh.
It's a rough draft in January, guys. That's the answer. But the staff hasn't really played Peak a ton the last couple of years. He produces, but and fans love him. He's a local guy. We love Antoine Peak Jr. We love Antoine Peak. But until I see him playing a ton, I'm just going to have him at number 2 there. He's still going to play. So I'm excited about Cannon. We've got a lot of size and experience now in the defensive backfield. I mentioned my concerns on the line and the edge.
Yeah.
I don't have concerns with the DBs. I think that's out of this portal. I think the DBs is the big pickup, and I'm counting Cannon there. We'll jump straight to corner here. Like, I think corner 1 is going to be Kenny Worthy from Washington State. And then, like, your second cornerback is going to be Jacob Finley, who's played 1 million snaps at NIU. Like, this guy's produced. He has fumbles, interceptions, tackles, pass deflections. Very handsy player. He's not like a crazy athlete, but he's just one of those guys that gets on the field and produces and has an attitude.
Okay.
And I think we've lacked that at cornerback in the last couple of years, that attitude, that swagger. I'm hoping Jacob Finley is that. And then you have those returners. Dan James will be there. Gravy Johnson's coming off an injury. Pat Williams is going to play a little. So corner, feeling all right.
Cool.
Safety. That's the fun part, Niehaus.
I know. You were telling us you wanted Ty Goodwill really bad, and then we got him. So Ty Goodwill going to be the headliner there?
He's my number 1. Right in front of JV Gibson in this class. From South Alabama, freak athlete, freak. If you watch, like, seriously, DM me on Twitter if you haven't seen the video. I will send it to you. I'm a big safety guy. I always made safeties in NCAA football and, like, played with them.
What?
For UC. Yeah, I just thought it was, I don't know. And Goodwill is like that. You could put him anywhere on the field. You could put this guy at linebacker, I swear. Crazy athlete. He's built 6'2", 210, fast, quick. I feel like I might be overhyping him a little here, but this is my crown jewel of the class.
Now's the time.
That I think could be an NFL player. And then just to round it out, Jasper Beeler, NIU, another one. High production. KK Meyer played a ton. I feel great about the corners, great about the safeties, really good about the corners, and Cannon as well. So, Niehaus, we're going to have a good defense next year. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be – it might be better than the offense.
Here's the thing. So –
which might not be.
We are asking a lot of guys to step up in competition. But you see it work. Yeah. You see it work everywhere. You see it work with football. You see it work with basketball. It's going to sound stupid, but it's like it's just going to come down to hit rate. Did you hit on them or did you not?
Yeah.
You know, you see it all the time. Like, even in, I'm going to use basketball as an example, like Alabama, Nate Oates, he's hit on guys all the time. I don't want to give a wrong name, but I think it's Noah Williamson, who came from Bucknell, who was like one of the top centers in the portal. Doesn't even get on the floor for Bama. Unplayable.
That's the one Oates miss ever.
Yeah. But it's like, it's all, these are swings, you know, you're up to bat in baseball and you're either getting a hit or you're striking out. And that's what we're doing here with this defense and offense. Cause all of these guys, except for like 2, I mean, other than Jabrain Payne and JV Gibson, who else is from a power conference team? No, Stanford, if you can count that. 3. Yeah, we got 3 guys. 3 guys from another from the P4. So, hey, man.
It's a risk.
It is. And I'm for it, you know. It's interesting. It's interesting. And it's definitely like what we have to do.
Yeah, and I don't feel like we're going to be the worst team in the Big 12 this year. Obviously, we want to win 7+ games, right? That's in my head, like you have to do that. And my concern here in Niehaus is what you mentioned, Royer, you mentioned Corleone, Golday, Sorsby. Like those are our best players gone. And then you look at the guys that left. Covey went to Memphis. Noah Jennings went to Minnesota. Tim Griffin went to Georgia Tech. Goody went to Missouri. Pryor went to Florida. Sanks went to Indiana. Harrison went to Arkansas. Kamari Burns went to Kansas State. Ethan Green went to South Florida. it's a little concerning.
It is.
Right?
It is.
I trust the front office. It's going to be way different, but that is a lot of snaps. That is a lot of production to replace in one portal. So I'm hoping that offensive line, the leadership group, has these guys locked in, and I'm hoping we hit up. We got to hit on at least 5 of these guys, like big hits.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the hope. Anything else before we get to mailbag / voicemails?
I don't think we missed anything there.
No, I think we got it.
Yeah, more football coming in the spring.
Cool. Yeah. This was we have a down week of hoops, and we haven't talked football, so this is our football talk. All right, we got one voicemail. Brace yourself, it is long. And then we got a few mailbags. But I think we only have one voicemail. Yeah. We only got one. I tweeted it out late.
It was a late tweet. Don't be too hard on us.
People had an hour to send stuff in, and it was from 8 to 9. But here's our voicemail. Let's see if it plays.
Hello. This is your athletic director at the University of Cincinnati, John Cunningham. Listen up. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I failed you. I failed this university. I failed this fan base. And yeah, I hear it every single day. Radio, Twitter, message boards, group chats, you name it. Effective, level strong right now. We have fired men's basketball coach Wes Miller. This program is
there it is.
Not in March. No, it should be. Not in March. Not nationally, not in the city of Cincinnati. And that's on me. Now, here's the truth. Nobody in this building wants to say out loud.
Kind of sounds like him.
I clearly can't hire the right guy on my own. So I'm done pretending I've got all the answers. I want to hear it from the people who actually care. The fans, the diehards, the Chatterbox Bearcats crew, the people who live and die with this program. You want toughness, identity, a team that looks like Cincinnati? Then tell me.
Okay.
Who do you want leading this program? Luke Murray? A recruiter, a culture guy, someone who understands what modern college basketball actually is. Or Josh Schertz, a winner, a program builder, someone who doesn't care about excuses, rankings, or noise, just results. Because this isn't about patience anymore.
Is that it? That's it. All right. That was John Cunningham.
So bad, man. God.
That was John Cunningham, allegedly calling in. Was that AI? That sounded like that was very they're good at talking. Whoever that was, that was very precise. I don't want Luke Murray.
Ooh, I kind of do.
I don't think I do. I just think, not that I don't think he'll be great somewhere. Because he very well likely could, and it has nothing to do with him more so than the fact that it has to do with. I just think this program's in a good spot in terms of fan base, in terms of facilities, in terms of commitment to the program financially, to take a swing on an assistant coach.
And for those who don't know, Luke Murray is UConn's assistant. He's been there a while, and he's the offensive genius behind UConn, supposedly. Niehaus. This would be, if Cunningham hires Luke Murray, this would be a massive, massive risk for him, right? Think about the situation he's in, right? I don't think he's on the hot seat personally, but you're putting your career in an assistant coach's hand, right? Is that what's happening if we hire Murray? Doesn't mean it's a bad
absolutely.
hire. Doesn't mean it's a bad hire, but he coached at Xavier. That's a negative, right?
Absolutely.
That's a pretty big negative. But I am starving for some offense, Niehaus. I want to be happy watching UC play offense, and it just hasn't happened in my adult life. And I'm 35. It's insane.
I want to clarify. So if he does get hired by UC, I will be bought in, obviously, and I'll like the hire. But if we're talking like with some of the available coaches, it's like there are other guys I think I would prefer.
Yeah.
In a safety measure.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I think that would be good. Josh,
Who's your number
Schertz.
2?
Well,
because we know who the number 1 is.
yeah, number 1 is good. It's the number 1 for everybody. I mean, the guy is a maniac. Josh Schertz, he mentioned it. Josh Schertz is. We're gonna have to like fight Providence fans. I think Providence. They think they got the guy.
Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing.
We might have to fight him. We might have to go to, be keyboard warriors here because I think Schertz would come to Cincinnati. Everything we see with what Trilly says is like, hey, this guy, Cincinnati's definitely on the table, right? In terms of like
Trilly is the
interest.
college basketball insider, and he said Syracuse no, but Cincinnati and Providence, his ears are open. So
I'm
excited.
It's almost too easy to screw up. And even if he fails here, which I don't think would happen,
yeah,
you still save your ass if you're John Cunningham.
It's a big fish. Yeah.
You still save your ass. So you do whatever it takes. It's almost too easy. It's almost too easy in terms of like if we're the biggest job out there, which at the moment we will be. Hopefully it stays that way. Please let it stay that way. Please.
Yeah. Everybody, you need to be rooting for no random retirements, no random firings. The only time you'll ever see me say this on a video, go Buckeyes, baby. We need John Diebler. John Diebler's an assistant at Butler. We need Diebler, whose name is escaping me, to not get fired. Yeah, because people in the industry just love that Ohio State job. I don't know why, but they love
I don't think
job.
He is. He's not getting fired, right? I think that's
Truly saying no because they have the number 1 player coming in and he likes him. So I still want to make sure though.
So keep that guy committed. So make that high school kid sign the contract tomorrow. All right, let's get to more. I mean, somebody asked about a coaching hot board. I think we'll get into more like specifics later, but I don't think you're going to see anything crazy from us right now. It's Josh Schertz, it's Jared Calhoun, in tier 1 for me. And
it's a little scary after that, isn't it?
Tony Skinn intrigues me.
He's a hot name.
Eric Olin intrigues me. Yeah. Luke Murray, I guess.
That's my tiers though, Niehaus. My tier 1, actually I have tier 1 Schertz is like it's gonna work.
In his own tier.
Tier 2, I have Calhoun and Murray. And I know I'm higher on Murray than you probably. Of like, I think it's gonna work. And then tier 3 of Olin and why am I just blanking on the other guy? Skinn is like everyone loves these guys. The whole industry respects them. They have proven themselves over a couple of years, especially Olin. I actually really like Olin, but it would be scary.
Yeah.
We would definitely talk ourselves into both of those guys, though. Those 5 names are the ones where, like, I think the most people would be happy if we got any of those 5.
I agree. I'm in on those 5. Okay. Wondering what hoops players on the current roster that will remain on the team next year. Have a few in mind, like Tillery, McKinley, Sean, maybe. That's from a Mason Madsen burner.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
I don't think Sean will be back, right? You know who? What's the updated NBA rankings for Chom?
Anywhere from middle second to undrafted. Like
Is there any way Josh Schertz could convince him to stay?
So this is what I keep going back on. Like, McKinley is the one, right? Obviously,
So
we think we could get
that. McKinley,
right?
McKinley, hometown kid.
And I think people need to realize, like, these players commit to coaches. As much as fans want to think it's the program and the fans, I mean, think about what they've experienced from the fans since they got here. They don't give a shit about us. They probably think we're dickheads. So
definitely us too.
The new coach would really have to pull them in, right? So if it's Josh Schertz, sure, he could get any of these guys to stay.
Yeah.
Chom would be awesome. I would love it so much.
I would love Chom to stay.
But like, to your point about the NBA, if you're flirting with second round, right? He's not going to be a first round pick. If you're flirting with that, are you taking 7 figures in college, 1 more year of development? He's younger. He's not, he's not like going to be 25 when he gets drafted, and it like really lowers his ceiling. So I don't know. I'd put it at non-zero, but it's definitely under 5%.
Yeah. No, you're right. They commit to coaches, but it's like, look, you see it every year. It's a mass exodus every single time a coach leaves or a coach gets fired. It's going to happen. With that being said, and I don't want to make this a crap on
I love
Wes
when people say that.
I don't want to make this like just like roast Wes. Like, these guys committed to Wes Miller, and it's like, if we bring in a coach who's going to be a significant upgrade, it's like, who's to say that they can't convince them to stay?
It's possible.
Yeah.
The portal at Niehaus, the portal doesn't open till, put it this way, we should have a coach by the time the portal opens. So there might be an opportunity this year that's different than previous years where coaches can retain players easier, new coaches. So it's possible. I think McKinley's going to be the number one guy, the priority. But if Josh Schertz walks in with a bunch of hype and he makes a call and Chom decides to stay, wouldn't shock me either. But definitely closer to 0% chance on like a buyout and Chom, guys like that. Tillery, I would love to keep. I love that kid.
Yeah,
he's not ready yet, but I love him.
He's shown some flashes that he can play. Definitely. I mean, Wes said it before the season, like there's going to be freshman moments, and there has been, but I think you can see in the last few games, it's like this kid has instincts. Obviously has to work on the shooting, but shot well last game. But yeah, no, I would definitely like him back. All right. 2.5 minutes. Let's crank through this last one. What record down the stretch would salvage the season as a fan? So we have 9 games left. And what I'm going to say is 3-8. And what I mean by that is March 8th is the first day of the off season, which means that is the day that we will be saved. So 3-8. That's what I'm saying. March 8th. I don't care about the next 9 games. I really don't. Truthfully, 3-8. It's coming down to 3-8.
Oh, I'm going to take this a little more serious. Okay. I want to beat UCF. I want to ruin their season. They're starting to piss me off. So beat UCF at home. I want to beat West Virginia at home. They've been pissing me off.
But we have to, because West Virginia has owned us in everything. We have to.
Yeah. It's hard to sit here and act like the record matters right now, right? I just, I don't want to finish in last. This is a beautiful program. We deserve better. I would be fine with 3 more wins. Okay, because I think we're heading like this. I'm worried that this is going to happen.
Oh, we're getting 3 more wins, right? Utah's on our schedule at home.
So here's my question: if Chom is out against West Virginia and we lose that game, and then we lose to UCF,
oh my God,
we're 3-8, and then like the 2 easiest games are those next 2. There's a chance this really spirals here, if depending on these injuries and stuff. Player buy-in, etc. And I do want to, my final note here, it's March 11th or 12th because we got to play in the damn tournament, Niehaus.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay, so not 3-8, 3-15.
March 10th is the first tournament game, so circle
11.
March 11th, March 12th on your calendar in case we win one game. Those are
Good point.
That's when it'll happen, guys.
Yeah, good point. All right, I will say this. Beat either Kansas or BYU, and I'll be able to say when I watch Darren Peterson or AJ DeBansa in the NBA that we beat them. So beat either of those teams. All right, we went an hour. Thanks for sticking with us. That was our football portal wrap up and a little hoops towards the end. But thanks for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. 5-star review, please, anywhere you get your audio podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube. We're trying to grow that. Are we at 700 yet on our Bearcat specific one?
I think we are.
I know we were at 699. Checking to see if we're at 700. We're still at 699 as of the time of this recording. Trying to get it hashtag road to 1K. So please do that. Thank you, everybody. Shout out Martino's, our presenting sponsor. We will have, of course, post-game shows for the next 2 games. See ya.